Hi all, welcome back. Enemy Action Kharkov, German Solo, part 79. So I've just come straight back there after starting to put that bit together. So it's going to be another Soviet impulse. So yeah, they're going to be quite interesting to see as we're moving through the second half of their deck. We got two third tank cards out of the way last time, and they're probably the most worrying army. So although I did take note one of them would have replaced a point. So anyway, right, okay, let's just get on with it and see where we stand. So 2 cards, right, that was 3 third tank army cards on the trot and a 6 army primary card. So okay, right, so that's going to be the order of the cards. This is the primary. Right, I moved the 3rd Corps units up, 6 army are round about them, so it'll be interesting to see what they get up to. Again, though, we've drawn this here, so it's not going to shuffle in. These are quite good things for us. Things seem to be moving along okay. Now, this would be a units activation. However, we do have the event that might actually do something, maybe, because there's been a bit of movement since. So this event, Garrison Vornes Front, we're on turn 6, yeah. Garrison Vornes Front. So place garrison markers and hexes targeted for the front named in the event. Per the processing requirements 15.1, consider only Soviet units in the named front when checking for Soviet proximity to garrison placement hex. Does not apply if no garrison markers can be newly placed. Well, the fact it's Vornes, yeah, have we moved anything? Well, we can only go and have a look, because it's quite a procedure, this one, isn't it? So, place gas markers in hexes targeted for the front named in event. Yeah, so it's only going to target Vornes front hexes. 15.1. Right, well, let's go and have a look. Just realised there that I didn't maybe properly execute that the times before. I think empty towns would have been okay, but I just kind of forget and I skip by that because the garrison placement process is first you place a garrison marker in every empty Soviet VP hex from which Soviet supply can be traced, and then you place a garrison marker in every empty village hex meeting all these requirements. I certainly didn't consider the actual VP hexes. I think the only one we'll go is Bel. Hang on, it's not targeted for. Oh yeah, of course it is. It's a wee band round it. Yeah. So it is empty. It's an empty Soviet VP hex. Yeah. Right, okay, I might have missed that before then. Why is Belgorod not got? I'll tell you why it's not got one, because there was units in there. Yeah. Well, I think that still enables us to put a... well, that could be quite relevant though, because that means if I place a garrison marker, place garrison markers in hexes targeted for the front named the event per the processing requirements of 15.1. Consider only Soviet units in the named front when checking for Soviet proximity to a garrison placement hex. Doesn't talk about that as part of the garrison placement process. Well, yeah, because the relevance of that could be that if I don't place a garrison at all, this card's going to stay in the auxiliary card slot. Right, sorry, I got distracted there. What was I saying? Yeah, if I don't place a garrison, that card goes back. But if I feel that a garrison can be placed there with that event, I'm not so sure that's what it's meaning. So let's see if I can place any garrisons in any villages then. And if we can, then that will resolve that. If we can't, I might need to return to BGG for some help. Although I've not been getting the help. Not been getting the help recently, guys. Not the help that I've really wanted, but okay, I know. You've all got real lives and things. Right. So we're looking for an empty village. Soviet unit is proximate or it's in support. Soviet supply can be traced. A German unit is not adjacent. A German unit would be proximate, or German supply can be traced to the hex. So yeah, that's not possible right away here. Just looking at that and wondering, is this not right? It's targeted for both fronts, that hex, that village. It's empty. Soviet unit is proximate. Soviet supply can be traced. Yeah. A German unit is not adjacent. No. A German unit would be proximate to the garrisoned hex. Or German supply can be traced to the hex. German supply is traceable to that hex right now. What worries me about this is, why is there not a garrison there already then? That's what's going into my head right now. I'm like thinking, why not? Stop. It's not in the Soviet operational limit. That's why. Yeah, because I'm thinking, I know this isn't in support, but there's Soviet units proximate. It needs to be above this line, though, Grant. Right, okay, fair enough. So that starts making some sense then. Can't go here because this is adjacent. Needs to be Vornes front. This one, I don't think we're proximate to supply. No, because remember, garrisons exert zones of control at the moment while we're doing this check. Good, okay. So yeah, so there's not enough of water across here at all. Well, this is about the only one that's above the line, isn't it? Well, hang on though, Grant. We did have some issues up here, and there's been any extra movement up here? You got to watch though. All these garrisons are going to stop, I think. Like, well, hang on. Yeah, no, because although I'm saying this road is German supplies traceable on this road, while we're checking for garrison placements, it's not, because these garrisons exert their zone of control, don't they? So, and a German unit is not proximate. This one here. No, I think this garrison's going to get in the way as well, isn't it? I was trying to think, getting up to supply here maybe. See, it's got the distance, it's got the range, but the garrisons are stopping it. And these two units stop it from coming down towards this road. Yeah, we can't even come around the back onto this road because all the garrisons are blocking. Yeah, they're all blocking it. Yeah, I don't think there's anything. Yeah, because this German unit is only proximate to this one, but it's adjacent, so that doesn't count. It's not proximate to that. And that's mean we're not proximate because this guy can't move. On the operational limit, well, that's adjacent to German unit anyway. That's the only other one. Well, some of these in here, but we've not we're definitely not proximate, and German supply is not traceable. Remember, we've looked here, and we can't get through here. We've not got the range to get right down. No. So there's not going to be any placeable, which now puts me in this position with does this count? Because what the turn before, it was these 40th Army units were in there. Place a garrison marker in every empty Soviet VP hex from which supply can be traced. Does the garrison front event? Does that apply to the garrison front event? That's what we need to be asking. And it doesn't really make it clear. I don't think so. Place here's the event description. Place garrison markers in hexes targeted for the front named in the event. Per the process and requirements of 15.1, which is placing garrisons, which is exactly the first part of 15.1 is the process, and then it talks. The first part of the process is putting markers in empty Soviet VP hexes that can trace Soviet supply. Because that would be a great get for us if all they done was place the garrison in Belgorod with that card. That's a result. And it says does not apply if no garrison markers can be newly placed. Well, that would be I mean, if this doesn't apply, then it's not gonna. Right, I think I need to go and ask my question then. But I've not been having much luck recently. So wish me luck. I'll be back shortly. Okay, well, went and popped the question, I suppose. Just need to wait and see if we get anything. I'm not sure about this one again. I feel like it is part of the process, and we could just have got lucky the fact that these units have moved out. You know, they probably would like. Man, is it really necessary to have a garrison on this? I would certainly not be bothered about it myself. So I don't know. I mean, to be honest, if German supply was traceable to this, one of these units would have moved. I think. Well, wouldn't have moved out of it. So I kind of feel like it's a bit weak if we get away with that. Really, that's a weak kind of play, but it could be one of the ones that we just like have hit at the right time. So what I'll do is I'll put this back in because I can't see any other placements for them. So I'll put that back. The problem's going to be if there is an attack, then we're going to have to then decide what to do. But we could kill time here a little bit, and again, maybe someday will come back with something. So we'll consider we'll consider that this is still in the auxiliary card box at the moment, but it might be that is now in the discard pile. So up until the time that we need to know that, then we can kind of play on. It's just I want to have a bit more time. I've not got that much longer to go, so we're going to activate all units in 6th Army. Now, no reserves for 6th Army. Now, we might have an auxiliary card. We're not sure. But it's sitting there just now. And it would be Rifle Brigade. Tank Brigade's only 1 to 5. It just kicks in with Rifle Brigade on turn 6. So it's not that it's assault coordination or anything like that. So we don't need to consider it for that. It's only if we eventually get around to an attack and we actually need to play it, then we're going to have to work out what we're doing. So I'll get the 6th Army units activated. Okay, I think that's them all. We've got this guy. There's the 2 in there. They're 6 strength. And then interestingly, we've got this unit that Lawrence had pointed out that was confused to why I didn't make an attack on. And looks now he might be able to get away and get out of that situation now as well. So, well, we'll see. We'll see what it does. The unit underneath him's dispersed. But I don't think that affects him moving it. The only affects if he was to be attacked, I think. and he would be restricted to one, I want to say it's one retreat, one hex retreat. That's probably not going to be relevant anyway. Right, so that's all the units. So there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. And no reserves, like I say. There was one in the eliminated units box, but well, that's not going to come out of there. Okay, so Vornes front, southwest front objective marker is still in its final spot. There's a German unit in the hex. There's not a southwest front unit adjacent to it, so it's going to stay where it is. They do not have an army objective. It's the first guard, so it's straightforward. They still have their front objective, so it's still 9.221 for these guys. And yeah, let me find that, and we'll get going with that. Yeah, on turns 5 to 7, we still use 9.21 if the front objective's in play, which it is. Right, so take a VP hex. Well, there you go. If I had, and let's hope I've not left Pavlograd. No, because it can't come around. It'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, they can't reach Pavlograd, and none of the other units are anywhere near an empty German VP hex, so there'll be none of that, or map edge hexes for that matter. Right, so move method 2, it's been a while since we've been back to 9.21 stuff. Yeah, so adjacent to German VP hex and near objective, move to hex closer to or within 4 hexes of the unit's objective marker and adjacent to German VP hex. They can't get adjacent to this. They can't get adjacent to that up there. Izium, I mean, I don't even think that guy could get adjacent to that, but it's moving away from his objective marker as well, that, so yeah, I want to say that none of that can happen either, can it? This guy could open up a little bit with some movement, but yeah, we've got these guys in the way. There's not a German VP hex that they can move adjacent to. I mean, even that guy trying to get to Izium, I don't think he can. 1, 2, yeah, he's only infantry. He can't get adjacent to Izium. So come the time we look at movement method 6, which doesn't care about getting closer to his objective marker, that's not going to apply either. And let's say Pavlograd, they can't get in it and they can't get adjacent to it either. They've not got the movement. So okay, so moving on. Open supply line. Okay. So move to hex that if occupied by the unit would enable a unit in the active front and currently unable to trace supply, including the moving unit itself, to be able to trace supply. Right, all these units can trace supply at the moment, can't they? Yeah, even this guy can. Now, these guys in there, like Warren's pointed out, we might have been able to cut the supply trace off, but this guy can trace supply into here on 1, and as soon as he's on that road, that's enough for him to be able to get out. Yeah, I don't think anything down here is unable to trace supply. We moved this unit a little bit, but only 1 hex. And these units, well, didn't really make much movement, but it's still not cut off supply up there anyway, so... Right, hold on. Yeah, and they can't get down here. This is where, when these pop-off units activate, that they might come down and try, and that's why maybe I want to maybe make this up a bit more, you know, maybe catch that hex, get something in that hex, because this unit could quite easily go 1, 2, 3, 4 and into there, and then give this guy a possible supply trace. So that's on my mind. That's good to think about. Get something in here, Grant. Even if, well, there you go. I could have split these units up, couldn't I? I didn't want it because this is quite a strong hex, 9 strength. I didn't want to leave a 2 weak strength hex. So, but could 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, see this guy could get around into here. So 57 core might be my next activation. Right, but that's not what we're doing right now, Grant, is it? But what I mean is, if any of these guys could get away down here, because these guys can't trade supply at the moment. You know, they're surrounded. But we can't get away down there to help them. So, yeah, so I don't think we can open a supply line. So Moon Methods 49 and Soviet Spearheads. Well, these aren't Spearhead units anyway. To be honest, we're on turn 6 anyway, so Methods 49 applied to all units. Cause surround. Move to hex if occupied by the unit would cause an unsurrounded German unit to become surrounded. And then got to remember that a Soviet unit already causing surround but not adjacent moves adjacent if possible. This goes in descending order. So unit 21, actual fact, no, I don't think he can he? 1, 2, yeah, he can't get around into here. It's just that would actually surround that. Yeah, and getting into here does not surround that. Yeah, I'm not so sure any of that's possible, is it? 18, no, you can only get in here. Yeah, that doesn't surround this guy. We can't get around the back here. 1, 2, 3, 4. You could get around to there. That's still not surrounding that though. Looking down at this isolated guy, why they would want to bother with that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I can't quite. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That doesn't surround them either, does it? Right, hang on. You can get in there though, can't you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That doesn't surround them either though. Still got a hex. Well, the thing is, he can't move, so I'm not quite sure. Does it talk about non-isolated, maybe? No. Move to hex if occupied by the unit would cause an unsurrounded German unit to become surrounded. Well, that wouldn't surround the unit, but the thing is, he can't move anyway, so I don't know. Right, I don't think they'd be bothered with that. Right, I can't see anything that they can go and surround as well. Yes, I'll look at this one again, but it's 1, 2, breaking zone of control, 3, 4, 5 into there doesn't help, or 5, 6 into there doesn't. He's still got an out hex here, hasn't he? Yeah, okay, so, and we've got to look at each individual. It's not danger of surround, it's not like moving multiple units, right? Okay, 5, 2 Soviet VP hex. In descending order. Move to an empty, or get, oh, there you go, see? We're still in this turn, and we're using this in descending order. Whereas, if we didn't have our objective marker, we'd be moving in ascending order. Okay. Right, well, we'll come to a conclusion at some point, Grant. Move to an enter-garrison Soviet VP hex targeted for the active front until it's a German unit is proximate or German supply is traceable. And then this is in descending order. Do we have infantry in here? Yeah, we do. So what number is he? 17. Right, well, let's do it in descent order just in case. So 21, move to an empty garrison, so it VP hits. No. Okay. But descend in order, right, okay. I wonder about here though. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, it can't get down to here, but could this guy not go 1, 2, 3, 4? Right, Krasnograd's not. Okay, sorry, I had a phone call there, so to Soviet VP Hex, I think that's where I was at, wasn't I? In descending order. Well, yeah, well, that's Unit 10. So that's Unit 18. He cannot get down there. Just, he might. But Unit 17 in here. Right, let's put him on top. Now, he is an infantry unit stacked with an armoured unit. No, that doesn't kick in until the second part though, Grant. So in actual fact, I think we need to check, not that it really matters, but I think we need to check if this unit can actually, 1, 2, 3, 4. See, he can move into Krasnograd. Move to an empty garrison, Soviet VP Hex, target for that to front. Yeah, it's not, it's targeted for Vornes. Right, yeah, okay. So he's not going to do that. Well, I don't think any of them are. Right, so what's going to happen though, is the second half of this, a Soviet infantry unit, if unable to move to an unoccupied Soviet VPX, move to a VPX occupied only by Soviet armoured units. Okay, and again, this doesn't specify that it's got to be the active front. Did I ask this before? Something's ringing bells here. Okay, regardless of proximity or supply trace. However, it's the next bit. The last bit is an infantry unit starting on a VP hex stacked with only armoured units does not move by this or any subsequent method. So this infantry unit is in a hex stacked with only armoured units. So he's not going to move, he's going to stay there. And that allows Unit 1 to maybe do something else. So I don't think any of the rest can make any of the moves. No. So I think that's just covered both bits. And there's not any other infantry that can move and relieve armour either, is there? No. That's because, well, there's nothing in this, like, not that you could reach anyway. Right, move on, Grant, come on. Right, 6 is adjacent to German VPX. Well, I already said that we can get adjacent to German VPX, full stop. So move on. 7, adjacent to German unit and logistics hex. Yes, okay, there is such a thing. All these dispersed units are on logistic hex. For the active front and not currently surrounded. A Soviet unit starting adjacent to a qualifying German unit stack does not move by this or any subsequent method except as directed by 9.25. Well, this guy is adjacent to a unit in a logistics hex, right? Hang on, I'll move in a bit. So he is starting adjacent to a German unit, a logistics hex for the active front, and it's not currently surrounded. So he's not going to move at all unless 9.25 adjusts him, which I think it's going to do. 9.25 around this unit. Which makes me want to think 1, 2. He's going to move into here then to hex, isn't he? operational. We can't surround them. Yeah, I think he's gonna do this. So he's gonna go 1, 2, and back in there. With 9 point, just adjust him a 9.25. Now, has he broke any restriction on that? Don't believe so. Cause a Soviet unit to become unable to trace supply. This includes the moving unit. No. Yeah, to be honest, I think that's fine. Is that annoying for us? Maybe. In fact, well, I don't know. I don't know if it matters really. Actually makes me wish that I'd put that maybe moved adjacent to that garrison there, because then we would have been. Does it talk about nearly surround? Don't think so, no. Okay, right, well I think that guy's okay to go there. Now what about the rest? What were we on? Move adjacent to a German unit and logistics head for the active front and not currently surrounded. This was doing in descending order as well. So 18, he can't reach. Unit 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He can reach. Are they really going to go all the way up there? Move adjacent to a German unit of logistics hex for the active front. I'm not currently surrounded. And then there's some preferences. Yeah, I think as long as he's not breaking any rules. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he could actually go into this hex or this hex, I think. Yeah, he can't get in there. Hey, hold on, stop, Grant. How am I seeing this guy go 1, 2, 3, 4 and surrounding that guy? No, what you done there? How did I miss that? Cause surround. I mean, surely there's multiple units that could have moved and surrounded that guy, Grant. Oh, for goodness sake. Right, hang on. I'm going to rewind a little bit then. So right, nothing's moved as of yet. How did I miss that? I don't know. That would have been done in descending order. I know I looked at this guy, he wasn't able to come around, fair enough, but I mean, even this unit 17 could have maybe made this move, could he not? 1, 2, 3, well no, he can't actually. And 18 wouldn't be able to reach as well, right? So, okay, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 10 can't reach either, but 7 can. So 7 could have went 1, 2, 3, 4 and surrounded that guy, couldn't he? 1, 2, 3, 4 from there. I don't think he's, as long as he can still trace supply. To be honest, he just needs to go 1, 2, 3, 4 onto that road and everything's fine. Yeah. Right, I'm not quite sure how I must start then, but yeah, that's not good, is it? Yeah, I think that's okay. I might need to be watching back on some of this. I feel like I'm losing track of things a little bit. Okay, so that was back at movement method 4 then, whereas I'd moved on to 7 there. So let's assume 5 was okay. Oh no, hang on. Yeah, 5 was the one that this unit locks in. Yeah, because you can't move because the armoured unit's there. That's fine, right. And then 6, adjacent to German VPX. Yeah, we can't do that. So now, adjacent to German unit and logistics hex, a Soviet unit starting adjacent to qualifying German unit. Well, he isn't now qualifying because this unit is now surrounded. So, but he could move adjacent to... Is this done in descending order as well? Yeah. Couldn't he move 1, 2... No, he can't. Well, 1, 2, 3... No, he can't. He can't. And he can't get in adjacent to that one as well. So actually he can't move. 18 can't get up there. 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We know he can move to there, but then this is surrounded now, so that's not an option. And he can't get into that hex adjacent to this one, so no. Unit 1 though. Right, well we can't surround that, but could he move up? Would he move up there? This is getting kind of interesting. Move adjacent to a German unit of logistics hex for the active front and not currently surrounded. And I'm looking at this guy here. This one is surrounded. This one's not. And then prefer the German unit start with the lowest total strength. Well, he's the only one that this guy would be able to reach. Well, actually, hang on. Breaking zone and control as well, Grant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I can move into there or there. So I think... Yeah, so I think that these guys can move. That guy can move into one of they two. Are you really going to run away and leave that little guy in there? I'm going to put this part together and then have a look afterwards, I think. So yeah. So it would be 9.25 between the two hexes, and well, this one's the empty hex, so 1, 2, breaking zone of control, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 into there. Moving from there, but he's not. Oh, can he still trace supply? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he can go around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 onto that road. He's not. Yeah, he's not done any. He's not broken any restrictions, I don't think. And in actual fact, what is this guy? Oh dear, look at him. He's a 2. He's dispersed. He's got 7 strength staring at him in the face. This guy's a 4. Okay. Well, the one good thing about this is that I think I could see myself activating 3rd Corps again and bringing these guys in to surround all this nonsense. But it does look like this guy could be in trouble if they go attacking him, I think. Right, moving on. None of the other guys. We've only got 1, 2, 3 units left. Sorry, zoom out a little bit again. Hang on, I need to take a little pause. Hang on. Right, so move method 8, adjacent to German unit, move to an unoccupied hex adjacent to German unit and not adjacent to Soviet unit, adjacent to that same German unit. And descending order as well. So we've got 21 18 and 10. 21 is not starting in that position, but I don't think he can. Well, that's not true. I mean, he could just move adjacent here to this guy. Couldn't he? Well, break zone of control, 1, 2, 3. We're kind of scattering ourselves all over the place now. Could he go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? No, he can't go in there. I think that's the only hex he could go. Yeah, I actually think he's wanting to go there. So 1, 2 breaking zone of control, and then 3 into here. So he's moved to an unoccupied hex that is adjacent to a German unit and not adjacent to a Soviet unit, adjacent to that same German unit. Okay, and then a unit starting in this hex, yada yada yada. But he wasn't starting in that satisfying hex because there was some other unit in there, and moving here wasn't any good. Right, okay. So what about 18 then? Well, he's got options. He can move adjacent to this guy or this guy. Not there, because that doesn't work, but he can move there, or yeah, right there somewhere. So his preferences are hex adjacent to the most German units. I think he'd only be able to do one both ways. Like I say, he can't satisfy it by moving it into there, although he's adjacent to that and there's no Soviet unit. He's also adjacent to that, and this is the one that's come up before, and we've concluded that doesn't work. Whether there's a bit of question to that one or not, we're sticking with that for now. Maybe that will come to light. So most German units, and then a German unit to which no Soviet unit is adjacent. Well, both of them are that as well. And then the closest German unit, both of them are just 2 away. So yeah, we'd have to tie break between the two. I'd have to tie break between the 2 German units. And then closest to the unit subject to well, hang on. I need to find out the hex he's going to move to. Now, I think that's his possible options. This is unit 18 we're looking at. So tiebreakers between that are closest to the unit's objective marker. Let me have a look. Well, actually that resolves that. These are all 10, and that one there is only 9 hexes away. So, however, stop Grant. So that's the German unit we're going to move adjacent to, definitely. So we still would then need 9.25. Is that not going to end up in the same result though? 9.25 Soviet operational limit. Yeah, that's fine. It's just inside it. Right, okay. We can't surround them, can we? No. Soviet support, yeah, not adjacent to a Soviet, right, not hex not occupied by or adjacent to a Soviet unit, adjacent to the same German unit. That's fine, yeah. Empty hex not occupied by an active unit. Yeah, so it's going to come down to tiebreakers, and that is going to be closest to its objective. So 1, 2, 3 down into there. That's where that guy's going to go. He's still in supply. He's not opened anything up, I don't believe. Yeah, I think that's fine. Now unit 10 is going to have similar moves, although he won't want to go there. He'll go there or there. Can he spread a little further? Not really. I know he's mechanised, but it does look like these are the only two German units that he could get adjacent to, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, hang on. No, because that's not going to be any good. 5, 6, yeah, we'd have to get round to this hex. You cannot do that. Yeah, so I think it's between the two. And again, the preferences aren't going to find in an order. Jesus, the most German units. No, it's just the same. Oh, hang on. A German unit to which no Soviet unit is adjacent. Ah, well, this one is adjacent now, so it's going to be that one he's going to target. Well, actually, 9.25, he could actually get into that hex, couldn't he? Not that hex. So he's going 9.25 round this guy, and although this satisfies the movement method, that is a 9.25 option round that targeted unit, because remember, it is the actual German unit that's a target. Yeah, okay. 9.25 operational limits, fine. We cannot surround, no. It's in support, not adjacent. A hex not occupied by or adjacent to Soviet unit, adjacent to the same German unit. Yeah, that does rule that one out then, doesn't it? Because he is, although it's not this unit, I think that, I'm pretty sure that still rules it out. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. And so he's going to move into here, from here. Yeah, and that's everybody moved, isn't it? Yeah, apart from this guy did not move at all, but yeah. Right, well, now we do need to know what we're going to do regarding attacks, because I'm pretty sure, well, look at attack checks. Let's just look at attack checks then, Grant, keep it going. I'm running out of time here anyway, so. In ascending order, yeah, we've got unit 1 up here, so this is the one we're going to really look at, isn't it? Oh, the other guy moved away as well, didn't he? So this is like 7 against 2. And the unit's dispersed, so my guess is this is going to happen. 7 against 2. Adjacent to a supplied German unit. Ah, hang on, that's needing some errata, isn't it? It's got to be an undispersed supplied German unit. Yeah, because this is the one question Martin brought up to Mr. Butterfield regarding the Soviet solo, which I'm guessing will be the same. So that doesn't count. It doesn't get a +1 for that. It is in support. And yeah, all German units dispersed, it's a -1. So it's actually 7 against 1, isn't it? Because he gets a -1 for being dispersed. And unit 1 would be checking first, so it would be both of these checking that. It's not that he would do this. That's how it would be checked for. So that is 7 to 1. So that goes ahead. We've got an attack going on there. I am going to have to stop though at the moment. Hopefully I'm not so sure I'll be able to get this finished tonight though, because I'm hoping to find out if we've got an auxiliary card or not, just checking after that attack check. That can't be an attack check, so it's a one-step unit. The same with this, and actually the same with this. They cannot check, and this as well cannot check. So this is the only situation we need to look at right enough. But we do need to find out now if there's an auxiliary card or not. Yeah, okay. So what I'll do is I'll just cut here, and hopefully this won't be the end of the part. Although it could possibly go that way. I think yeah, starting to get used to the fact. Yeah, just stop. Let's stop when you want, Gran, and like spoil everybody's enjoyment if that is such a thing for you. And so I might do that. I'm not saying I will. It's just I'd like to come back tonight and maybe try and finish it, but I don't know if I've got the time. We'll see. We'll see if I get a response, if I get a reply, and it makes things easy for me to finish this impulse off. Hopefully I'll get it done by tonight. If not, I might just end this part here and we can start the part with finishing this off. Okay, but I'll be back at some point. Cheers. Hi all. Right, this should just be the continuation of part 79. I wasn't able to get anything done yesterday, so a wee bit of time went by. So I thought that would give a chance for some answers to my latest question. I did get one response, and it was regarding the event here, Garrison, Vornes Front, which is in the auxiliary card. And we concluded that this would have been the only option for a garrison, but we weren't 100% sure if it applied to that part. Wasn't it? We're placing garrisons. I mean, the first part says place a garrison marker in every empty Soviet VP hex from which Soviet supply can be traced. And it kind of feels like it should be, but I just wasn't sure. And it's obviously quite a good result for us if all that happens, if we use this card for just that. Whereas it could be involved in a combat tactic here in this battle, which this unit looks kind of vulnerable to it, or if it didn't get used for that, I think it might, although overwhelming odds might come into it, because the guys disperse maybe. Anyway, yeah, I got a reply. Tom Castle said that he guessed that, yeah, this should be, as long as it's for the active front. Hang on. Yeah, his reply was, I would think so, but only for the relevant front. So that's all I've got to go on. And the fact that it doesn't really sort of say within the event, I mean, the event just, I don't know, we're going over things here again. Garrison Vornes front. Yeah, the event says, place garrison markers in hexes targeted for the front named in the event per the processing requirements of 15.1. Well, that is part of the processing requirement. The part of the process is to look at these, and the requirement is it needs to be in supply and empty. Yeah, consider only Soviet units in the name front when checking for Soviet proximity to a garrison placement hex. Well, that part's not relevant, but the second part of it is relevant, so it needs to state that. So, and then does not apply if no garrison markers can be newly placed. So, yeah, I think we're going to get away with this, and we're going to have to just go with it. So, that is going to get used, and would have been used before we started the actual command card with the 6th Army. To place a garrison here, because it is empty, it is targeted for the Vornes front, and Soviet supply is traceable to it. The reason it didn't have a garrison, like I say, was these 40th Army units had moved out since the start of the turn, because you know, if they'd moved out before the start of that turn, this would have got a garrison through the the process at the beginning of the turn. So yeah, we're going to benefit from that happening with this card, and this card's gone now. So that's 3 third tank army cards that are now in the discard pile. Now, I did remind myself that we've not seen any of the front cards. We've seen Stavka though, and obviously the southwestern front is not really relevant here. However, we are definitely going to get the Vorness front card. However, who knows, we might get lucky with that. We might draw it. I mean, remember, these aren't primary cards, so it could sit and become a combat tactic. It might not become an actual command, an impulse in itself. You know, a card that's used for its command. So yeah, we'll see. So now, right, we'll move back and let's get this part finished. And yeah, there was some strange goings on up here, wasn't there? I watched back the part leading up to this. I just watched back because it felt like things were going a bit like all over the place. So one I did wonder about was the fact that unit had moved away and left one step in Wazovia. But if you recall, these things don't really... I mean, if we were looking at 9.22, I get the feeling that unit might not have done that. But then again, yeah, I'm just trying to think 9.22. I mean, we're not on 9.22 with Southwestern Front though, because their objective marker is still in play. Yeah, I'm just wondering if it would have moved away regarding, is it movement method 3 with 9.22? Yeah, see the condition of movement method 3, a unit starting stacked with one of your other steps in a VP hex. And this would have been done in ascending order. And I know we're not on 9.22, but I'm just saying, that unit was stacked with one step. So, a wee beastie on my camera, hang on. Yeah, so he would have been checked and said, yeah, he is only stacked with one step in a VP hex, to which a German unit is proximate, which it is, because they're just adjacent. So that would not move by that method. However, there's not an instruction, and I'm hoping that's the case. It doesn't do that within 9.21, I don't think. Now it's movement method 5 in 9.21. Yeah, I mean, it talks about infantry unit. Any unit moved in empty garrison Soviet VP hex. Yeah, it doesn't consider the fact that the unit's got, that the VP hex is only one step. It doesn't care. So the only other thing that could, I just double check, is the restrictions. Yeah, and the restrictions don't care about any of that either. So yeah, so that unit was free to go and do that, which makes us slightly vulnerable. We've got 6 strength sitting adjacent to Wazovia. Oh well, okay, right. Well, the only attack to consider, well, in fact, it wasn't getting considered, it was happening, was the attack here. In actual fact, I can put these units in motion, because Unit 1 would have checked with Unit 7 against here. They ended up situationally with 7 against 7 to 1, because he gets a -1 from being dispersed. So 7 to 1 odds, that's a go situationally. So now we come down and break it down to the actual odds. So it's 7 against 2. So the actual odds are actually only 3 to 1. And well, chip pool wise it's 2, but we are dispersed, so I'm gonna have to double check what dispersed offers them. Yeah, so can't move, attack, advance, or receive an IP. If all defending units start an attack dispersed, combat tactics can't be applied, and hits incurred by the attacker are reduced by 1. So they get to reduce a hit, but it doesn't. It's not like out of supply where they get an extra chip pool, so that's quite good. And then we can only retreat 1 hex, however. So that needs to be, so I mean, I think it's only 1 step, isn't it? So D2 would eliminate that guy. Yeah. Okay, and they get to reduce a hit to themselves. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, it's not great, is it? Because we're also not adjacent now. Yeah, I think it does differentiate, doesn't it? I think this is why Martin brought up the question. I think the fact, you know, the chits that say adjacent, where's that about? It's in here. I think it specifies it needs to be undispersed, doesn't it? Defender adjacent applies if defender adjacent to undispersed supplied friendly unit not yet attacked in this activation. So so he doesn't benefit from that. He is armoured, but he's dispersed in a clear hex. So yeah, it's not great really. So 3 to 1 odds, only 2 chip pools, but that is at the moment. So he is going to draw a card. We cannot get a card. There's no reserves to come in. So we're going to draw a card. I mean, the good thing about this is we're drawing a card, and you know, here, what about if it was the Vorness front card right now, you know? Just get out of the way. Okay, this unit maybe gets eliminated, but that would be a result, I think. Right, here we go. So Soviet combat tactic. Oh, it's the Southwest Front. How about that? Wow. Now, if that had been the Vorness front card, that would have been amazing. That's not bad as well, like, for that. So they are getting artillery and air power added on there, and yeah, unfortunately 2 more chip pools because there's 2 combat tactics added. Yeah, that would have been awesome if that had been that Vorness front though, because then I would have been starting to feel good about Kharkov. Maybe I'm actually making it, but yeah, a bit to go yet. Maybe a wee bit carried away, but however, it is what it is. Right, so 3 to 1 odds, 4 chip pools, and yeah, and we don't get to draw a card, so that's going to be that. Right, should be able to squeeze the chits in there. There's not many of them, so yeah, we can't play a card. Yeah, there's no exotic card because that went away, or that would have got used for Rifle Brigade as well, wouldn't it? Yeah, none of this was overwhelming. It had to be. Did it have to be 5 to 1? Yeah, defenders unsupplied dispersed with ratio 5 to 1 would have counted, but they only got to 3 to 1, so that's fine. Right, okay, so I'll start drawing 4 chips. Here we go. That's only attacker armour, only defender armour, so fortunately they do have one of their armoured units, but we do as well, just double checking it wasn't mechanised infantry. So doesn't apply, so that's a good start. Okay, I was just thinking high odds chits would be the good one for us. It was 4 to 1 on the front with an A1D1 result, which just misses out, but just less than 3 to 1 for that one. So it doesn't apply, so that's good. So 2 still to come. Like I said, D2 eliminates us. So if I can survive this chit, then we should be able to survive. So here goes. Another good chit for us. It was 8 to 1 or defender not supported on the front. Less than 3 to 1 in the back. Doesn't apply, so it's going really well here. So hopefully, well, we get to retreat 1 hex. So yeah, we're going to be, well, unless it turns up a D2. Right, here goes. Yeah, 2 to 1 does apply. I don't think it's such a big deal. The only thing is I can't retreat in here. The only place I can retreat in is there, which is that really an issue? Maybe not. They get a hit as well, however they are getting to ignore a hit, aren't they, for the dispersed part. Hits incurred by attacker are reduced by 1. So it is just D1, that's 4 chits drawn, 3-1 odds. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so results are D1A1, but like I say, the unit's dispersed, so they get to ignore a hit. Now, we've got 1 hit to take, we're only 1 step. We can, it says unit stacked with dispersed units, unit stack can retreat only 1 hex. So I'm going to do that obviously, or I'd be just eliminated. Can't retreat here or I'd take a step loss. Now, no, because the priorities are I do need to retreat into a hex, not in an enemy zone of control, don't I? Yeah, that's priority 1. So this is an enemy zone of control, so is this, and so is this. So this is our only option. So we retreat 1, though, that does soak up that hit. Now all is good. However, advance after combat. So unit 1, it's not going in these forward arrows. And if our hex applies, VP hex, no. Primary direction, no. Hex enabling supply, no. Cross river, no. Secondary direction, no. If advancing second, right, no. Causes surround. Well, it's one of the next 3, isn't it? Because it, well, in fact, it's not one of the next 3. It's only attack. It's attacked hex. I don't think it is causing surround, is it? No, because this unit's already surrounded. So it is attacked hex. With nothing advanced in, it'll advance on a 1 to 7. He rolled a 10, so he's not advancing. I'm not sure if I would. I think, you know what? I think I would have preferred him to advance in there, maybe, because we've got all these guys here, and it would have been. Because I'm not as a garrison, we're going to have to stop moving into there. Whereas if he moved into there, we could come in behind him there, maybe. Oh well, it is what it is. So he's not advancing. This guy is going to have the same option though. And I'll advance into the attack hex on a 1 to 7. And he's rolled a 5. So the infantry does advance. Now, hold on a minute though. Restrictions on advancing. Doesn't cause German procs. Hold on, he's got break. Oh, he's not. Right. Don't cause German proximity to or German supply trace to an unoccupied Soviet VP hex. That's in mech units can't advance into marsh. Don't cause another Soviet unit to become unable to trace supply. Another Soviet unit. Well, they're still fine, and I think he can still trace supply himself, although it's not saying that, is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, as long as we can get around to this. Sorry, open it up a little bit. As long as we can get around to this road, which, by the way, I keep looking at this road, and I'm thinking, it'd be nice to get this guy down, wouldn't it? Into this hex. My plan was to get into this hex, although this unit moved into here, but I could still, I think, have movement to, or maybe not. Well, I'm pretty sure I could get down to here. Just to block that road off. Might be an idea before the end of the turn. But we'll see. We might not need any of that. Okay, so he advances 1. Right, no, restrictions. So from turn 6, the unit will advance into a surrounded or nearly surrounded hex. Only a VP hex, or doing so enables Soviet unit to trace supply. Right, hold on then. Is that a nearly surrounded hex? I think it will be. Yeah, because this unit can be considered. Remember, in this game, it didn't apply in any match in Ardennes, but within Kharkov, they do allow you to consider and disperse units when checking proximity. So this guy can go out and in into here, surrounding that, and this is not a VP hex, so he's not going to advance. So I think that would have been the same for that guy as well, actually. I don't think he would have advanced anyway, because he would have been nearly... Now hold on here, if he's nearly surrounded already, unit will advance into surrounded or nearly surrounded hex. Well, that's not really say. It doesn't really say if he starts that way or anything like that. So, if he was nearly surrounded here, he would still consider moving into there, and he wouldn't do it if this was nearly surrounded. That's what I'm getting from that, I think. Right, so no advances then. Right, okay. So that worked pretty well for us, really. When our guys survived, which was the main part. So now, finishing off the turn, there was no other checks to be made. Let's say this is a one-step unit, this is a one-step unit, and this is a one-step unit. So they cannot be lead units to check, and all the units were supplied units. So no reserves. Anybody bounce back to reserves? Well, this is the only guy that didn't do anything. He's not going to bounce back to reserves and leave that like that. So none of that. IP, he's the only one that didn't move. He cannot build an IP because he's already in a town. Remove disperse markers, and that is that. Okay, and yeah, and this done nothing for them too. This done nothing. So this is good. The only thing I wish it was Warness front, but so that's us. Yeah, that's us getting through the deck now. I'll tell you, we've only got maybe a third of the deck to go. Who knows? It's maybe getting closer. It's maybe not such a laughing matter now, is it? Maybe it was. Maybe I'm only just being paranoid and thinking we're all laughing about it. But however, we're still not there yet, and all it takes is for some horrible attack to take place in Kharkov and us to draw horrible chits. But like I have said, they need, what is it? It's 3 steps each. It's D6, is that right? Yeah, because I can't retreat. I know I actually do have a retreat hex option now, but you know I could retreat and probably survive. But the whole point is to like stay in Kharkov. So it would have to be a D6 result, because even D5 we would leave 1 step in there, and that's all we need as far as I'm aware. I don't think there's any other. I mean, it just says to own Kharkov, I believe. So hopefully I'm getting that right. Nobody said anything to me anyway. Nobody's sort of reminding me that, oh yeah, but you need to have a supply trace or something like that. I don't think there's any of that needed. No. Okay, right. I'll put this part, add this on to the other part, and then might be able to get back just now. But if not, just now, a bit later before the end of the day. Now, what are we going to do next, though? Ooh, lots of lovely cars, haven't we? Still. Yeah, I don't really know, because I'm now feeling that I'm feeling that there's a good chance of this being able to pull it off. I suppose if we could strengthen some of the sort of other possible, because yeah, I mean, if we lose this, we're going to look foolish. If we keep Kharkov and lose this, for instance. So, but we do have these units adjacent now, and I don't think we can get any moved in. But what about activating 57 core, right? Doing what I said, getting a unit in here, because I feel like these units might activate and come down to give these guys a supply trace. So move something around into there, stop that from happening. Possibly remove this around into here, so that another activation, remember we've got Army Group South, we've got von Manstein, activate this whole lot again, just to get something else into there, just to give that extra bit of security. And there's not, I mean, I don't see any other threats on us losing any victory points. That is the only one that, and even then, I mean, it's what, 10, they've got 13 to 5. So it would be 13 to 6 situationally, which is 2 to 1. So it's more than likely they might have a go at that. But again, for us to move out of that, we would need D3, wouldn't we? That's achievable. So yeah, something to think of. I get the feeling I might be activating 57 core, because I do have a card for them as well, don't I? Yeah, I've got that. Right. Anyway, I'll get away and get this part put together, and we can work out. I can work out that off camera, hopefully, what I'm going to do, and then come back and start recording, and then go through it all again, what I'm going to do. Right. Okay. I'll be back soon, guys. Cheers.